fan get a chance to watch that new Disney movie you were handed the other day on the sideline, The Lion King?
No. I don't think I have anything to plug in a VHS tape anyway.
Was it a VHS tape?
Yeah, it was old school. It was old school.
Baker, you said that we tried to juke Bobby Wagner. You didn't have it, but you kind of did have it on Sunday, making a nice move against their linebacker on the 12-yard run, and then the 11-yard run for the touchdown. Just talk about those two plays and being able to scramble into your legs there.
Yeah, the scramble play before the touchdown run. First thing I'll say, unbelievable protection back there, sitting for days. So just trying to find somebody open. They did a good job of changing the coverage, making it look like man coverage, and it wasn't. So just trying to find somebody open and then get into a little scramble drill. And it's hard on the receivers when I'm still in the pocket where they're supposed to go. It's not necessarily declared whether they're supposed to work with me to the right or left. So, yeah, just trying to make a play. And then on the touchdown run, yeah, just a good design by our offensive staff. And, yeah, just there could be a couple free guys, the safeties and whatnot. But, yeah, did a good job with the line, climbing up and getting the backers and making a couple people miss.
When that play call came in right after your scramble, obviously that's something Liam saw from that initial play. What were you thinking in terms of, like, I got to run again?
Take a couple deep breaths and let's roll. That's about it.
Bigger on the touchdown. Can you describe the pass to Godwin? It looked so much like so many screens that you throw almost, right, in a way. What was the design of that, and how were you guys able to get kind of a bust on that play, you think?
Yeah, a similar look to what we've had in the past of showing a screen to the back, really just trying to play that game on the flat defender, getting his eyes in the wrong place and getting it in the build of it to where he can't be right. Whether he goes with Chris, then I'm able to throw it to the screen, and just not letting them be right, and that's what I said after the game. Unbelievable design by Liam to put a guy in a bind like that, so it makes my job really easy.
Has the move here been better than you anticipated? You've got 33 touchdowns since putting on that Bucs jersey. I think it's third in the NFL. I mean, has things gone better than maybe you thought?
No, for me, this is what I wanted. This is the group that, taking a chance to come here, understanding the pieces that I had and the potential that this group can have. So for me, there was a lot of low moments last year. So for me, it could have even been better. But it's never about the individual stats anyway. It's just about trying to find ways to win. But it's been awesome so far.
Big, you've talked about, Mike Evans, he's one-on-one, he's going to take that shot. The Broncos have a cornerback, probably one of the few in the league that can actually match up one-on-one with Mike. When you look at that matchup, how does it kind of change the way you mentally approach it, knowing that there's such a strong cornerback? And how does that differentiate everything else that the offense does? Because maybe there's not a safety over top helping because of Surtain.
Yeah, and that's what a guy like Pat Surtain can offer a defense. It is true one-on-one, shut one side of the field down. He's that type of player. He's got unbelievable ball skills, can run with guys, understands concepts, and can read the patterns really well. So, yeah, he's a guy he's going to have his PBUs and make plays on the ball, but we have to design things to be able to get Mike some matchups other than just him. But also we trust Mike in one-on-one scenarios regardless.
Do you kind of have to hesitate mentally? Like, I got Mike one-on-one, but it's Patrick Surtain. So,
Yeah, I mean, depending on the route, depending on the concept of how he's playing it, you can kind of eliminate it quicker. But still, Mike's our guy, so still trusting him.
You mentioned when you came here that obviously tough job for anybody to replace Tom Brady, but you didn't want to beat Tom Brady. You had mentioned on Corey Cooper's podcast this week that guys might have been a little stressed out with Tom because he was so businesslike that you came in with kind of a different mindset, different approach. Did you get a feeling when you got here that it was kind of a stressful situation and to loosen up this team was kind of the best direction to go?
For me, it was just like the same answer I gave you guys right when I got here. I'm not going to try and put Tom's shoes on. That's not how I do things. And obviously Tom did it his way and was unbelievably successful with it. And so a lot of that, just being my authentic self and the best version of me is this place allowed me to do that. But anytime you're having more success than they did in 2022, you're going to have more fun. And so it's different, and it's always different year to year. And there was a ton of new faces anyway. So a lot of change within 22 to 23. And so, just trying to be the best version of myself.
Mike and Chris obviously provide a lot in this offense, but how important has it been to get some contributions here and there from the other receivers, whether it was Trey drawing that pass interference penalty or, Jalen McMillan made a 21-yard catch that eventually led to your touchdown.
Yeah, those guys understand that defenses are going to take away, certain guys at certain points, and that's why I mentioned, let the defense dictate where the ball needs to go, and those guys have to be ready for those opportunities. And it might not be often, and they don't know when it's going to come. We don't know when it's going to come, but they have to be ready for it, and so we trust those guys.
How was your communication with Barton throughout this game? Loud atmosphere and everything, and Todd just told us he's been really impressed by his intelligence so far after 2 games. What have you seen
Yeah,
with him?
Graham's a really smart player, and obviously each game, each rep, he's going to get better and better. Of all the looks he's going to see, he's able to just put that in the mental bank. But yeah, especially in an environment like that, I thought Graham played really well, handled the communication well, and that's not easy to do for your second career game at center in the NFL.
How important it is to start to get Cade more involved in this offense?
Yeah, I mean, Cade's a guy that he obviously you saw last year how reliable he is, and he always is that way. Obviously, with Luke being out, having to try and chip the edges a little bit more, just one of those game plan things. And Cade's a team guy first and foremost, but he's a guy that people kind of forget about the talent level that he really has, pure hands and just understanding some of these zone concepts, where the holes in the defense are, how to get there, and yeah. Love Cade. So it's just, like I keep mentioning, defense dictate where the ball needs to go, and sometimes it'll be Cade.
You've told us that your aspirations with this team are so much bigger than just making the playoffs now. Like, you guys have been there before. You want to go deep. You want to win a championship. So how do you kind of balance the success of, winning your first 2 games, everybody's taken notice of it, with the fact that, as Coach Bowles said after the game in the locker room, you still have a lot more work to do?
Yeah, I mean, 2-0 is 2-0, but a lot of ball left. We know last year we started out 3-1 and hit the opposite turn. So this is a group with a lot of the same pieces that we've been through this before together, understanding that your standard is your standard. You have to meet that every single day in each game. So just hit the reset button, and doesn't matter what the outside noise is. And so we expected to be playing well at this point, and we expect to continue to play well.
On that touchdown run, if I remember correctly, Graham really gave you a terrific block on that. Just how much does it help when you have a force like that on the inside, and in a situation like that where you are having to use your legs?
Yeah, I mean, somebody like him, where the guy's really he's got a 2-way go. Graham doesn't necessarily know which way I'm going, especially on a quarterback draw. It's awesome to see the power, but the athleticism and space to be able to still play with that power.
You get a parity in the NFL, and you look at last week, week 2 in the NFL, half the underdogs won straight out. Does that kind of you have to guard against when you have a team coming in at 0-2 that, hey, you always hear any given Sunday, but it's reality?
Yeah, I mean, this group, the smart players we have, the guys that have been through this, understand if you don't bring your best stuff on whatever game it is, whoever you're playing, you can get beat. And for us, it's the singular game mindset, one focus, 1 week at a time, and handle it the best way you can.
Big story in the NFL this week was the benching of Bryce Young. You were a #1 overall pick. Pressure that comes with that, and you play for Carolina. Now you and Sam Darnold are both leading teams to wins. Might say something about the organization, but what were your thoughts when you see a young player be given up on sort of so early?
Obviously, mine didn't happen in the same time frame with Bryce, but quarterback's hard, especially for young guys, when you're not surrounded with the pieces that not given the opportunity to have success. And so that's a lot of the time guys have the talent, they might have the brains, but they don't have the right opportunity, the right fit. I mean, I'm sitting here right now in a way better fit than the other places I've been, and that's not to put other teams down, but it's a matter of the pieces around you, the coaches, and for Bryce, a guy that, I can relate to this, finding that belief within yourself again, and he'll get it. His story is far, far from finished.
He's with a first-time head coach, a guy that you also know really well, and Dave Canales, your offensive coordinator last year. Can you just speak to what role Canales kind of had in helping shape your career?
Yeah, for me, the positivity, I told you guys he's an optimist bully. He finding ways to make things work when it's, not the best looks or things aren't going well, and being positive about it, about the next opportunity. So, it's whatever they're doing, I'm sure it's for a good reason, whether it's to just give Bryce time, not in their building, not in their meetings, so can't really comment too much on it.
A couple more. Your rookie year, I think your first snaps were week 3, your first starts were week 4. This is the second time in 3 weeks you're going up against a rookie quarterback now. What do you remember as just the biggest challenges in those first couple of starts?
There's a lot. There's a lot that comes with it, especially when you play on the road as a rookie QB. The communication, all of that, just the environment, the pressure that comes with it, and especially when you play a defense like ours that gives you so many different looks. That's not easy to do. It's just trying to play within yourself, not be a superhero. I think I learned pretty quickly. The big guys are faster than I am. So you can't do the same play, scramble drill that you can in college. But, you just try and play within the system and within the play call.
Emily and your foundation just made a nice donation to the Space Coast Vipers. We're on the verge of turning away kids from playing football due to lack of equipment. How did that come about, and just how important it is for you to kind of give back, not just to this community, but to other communities and football programs?
Yeah, I mean, one of our biggest mottos is leveling the playing field for everybody. And hearing that kids didn't even have a chance to go play football, a game that I am so in love with, that just given that opportunity is something that was not really a hesitation at all. So just being able to do that and give kids a chance to play football, learn. This game teaches you so much about life, the challenges, adversity, handling, time, responsibility, accountability, and all that. And there's a lot that comes with it. So just to be able to provide equipment so guys get that opportunity it's a great feeling.
So we get the diapers in week 1, equipment in week 2. What's next?
I don't know. Santa Claus seems like he's coming early.
Uh-huh.
Thanks, guys.